When it comes to financing education in developing countries, there is some good news. As incomes have grown, government expenditures on education have risen sixfold, and ODA is now a much smaller proportion of education funding, just 2% in lower middle income countries. However, global education systems are facing a perfect storm. Learning poverty has risen amid pandemic-related school closures. The number of school-aged children is rising, and domestic budgets, which have been the key driver of increased education spend, are constrained as countries deal with the fallout of the pandemic. It is clear there is an imperative to act to stop these learning losses costing this generation trillions in lifetime earnings. But what will be our response? ODA grants for education have stalled and are not going to shift the dial anywhere but the poorest countries. Education needs to start thinking outside the box in the way that the health and climate sectors have been doing for a long time. In our current economic climate, with household spendings on schooling squeezed by inflation and donor budgets stalling, it is only through innovative finance that we're going to be able to increase the volume of finance for education. The Transforming Education Summit and support of UN Secretary General provides a great plan for this relaunch. The focus on financing for education systems also puts IFED front and centre, and the case for investing in education is more compelling than ever. That's why the UK supports the development of IFED initiative and is now providing seed capital to support its launch at the Transforming Education Summit in September. This is not about aid diversion from low-income countries to lower middle-income countries. It's just repurposing some of the $7 billion of ODA that goes to lower middle-income countries each year to turn into more suitable loans. Even beyond the current post-pandemic crisis, more countries will continue to graduate to lower middle-income status, and unless we can incentivize them to borrow for education, we know what will happen. Education investments soon switch to infrastructure and other items with a quicker commercial return, leaving human capital behind them. So IFED is the best feasible option we have for increasing financing to education, for making donor investments go further, and for ensuring education ODA becomes more relevant in the coming years. So I want to encourage other donors, governments, the private sector, philanthropists to come on board and make this a reality.